Well, hey everyone, it's Ethan with Beware Beekeeping. Sorry we haven't posted in a little bit. I just posted a video last night from data recording. Obviously we got hit by a lot of the rain and stuff around here in Texas. Um, it's a tragedy. Our prayers are definitely going out to the families that were affected there. We fortunately weren't really affected. We just got a ton of rain, kind of minimal flooding. Nothing really happened to us, so we're okay. I had gotten a few questions about that, so just letting everyone know we're fine. So today we're going to be doing a couple of things. I was able to check the hives one day very quickly during all this rain for the past week, so I haven't really seen much of these hives in the past couple of weeks. But for this one, we had a drone comb in here on our last inspection. We're just going to see how it's doing. If it's ready to be pulled out, we'll pull it out. I'd also like to see how they're doing on this top box. We might add a super to this hive going on right here. And yeah, from there, I'm probably going to treat with mites with a mite treatment here, depending if they need the super or not. I might just go ahead and treat them for mites. So that's kind of what we got going on over here. And as you can see there, the bees are going out. They're making up for lost time. So that's also good to see. All right. Well, yeah, we're going to get going here. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing well. Again, it's been a little bit of a week here for us, but we're doing all right. All right, so actually these guys might be ready for a super. Usually when you see them build comb on top, it's a good indication to throw on a super. Yeah. All right. We'll check how they're doing here. Again, this green frame right here, that's our drone comb. We just need to see how they're doing here, and just check on the hive. Again, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a really in-depth look, so we'll just start pulling up some frames here. All right, so outermost doesn't look like a whole lot on it, but there are some bees working on it, so we'll see how they're doing. All right. So when making the determination for a super, you kind of have to balance between how many frames do they have down here and how many do they have above. So right now, again, this is the one in from the outside. They're working on it, but not built out yet. So you want to have between 5 and 7 frames drawn out. So right now, if it's mirrored on the same side, that's 4 frames not drawn out. So we'd be on the low end here. But as we see on this frame here, they have built it out quite a ways and already packing it full of honey. On this side, they haven't worked at all yet though, so they've done a little bit. I don't know if you can see that there on that screen, but so I don't know. It might be a little premature. We'll see how the other side is doing. If these guys are all packed to the gills here, we might have to go ahead and swap some, or add a super rather. So here is our drone comb coming up here. Give you guys some smoke. Now last we saw, we were kind of worried that they were going to just put this into a honey super, so we'll see how they did. All right. So you can see they did put honey in there, but that's not uncommon for just a regular brood frame. You can see, oh, there is our queen looking for a spot to lay. She is kind of bottom left of your screen here. So yeah, all these, that's all drone comb, or drone cells. And Queen's really just looking for a spot. She's poking her head in all those holes, seeing if it's either clean or if it has an egg in it. I'm seeing a lot of eggs in these already. And then this up here at the top, this is all honey. So this is a good frame here. However, we flip it over and they're still building out the foundation. They're putting stuff in the top here, so they've slowed down quite a bit from the nectar flow. I'm going to leave this in probably another week or so and really let them, one, cap over some of these drones, and then let them try to start doing something on this frame here. So I think that's going to be the game plan here. And I've seen my queen, I've seen new eggs, so I'm going to just very carefully put this down. And I mean, pretty much my inspection's pretty much done on this hive. They're doing well. They're not quite ready for a super. Well, let me check a couple more frames before I make that determination. Because one thing I do have to keep in mind is I am gonna pull out this drone comb frame, so I don't want to give them too much space. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of these. So I'm just actually gonna kind of not do it maybe the right way. I'm just gonna pull up these outer frames and check how they're doing. Okay. Not a whole lot here. I'm just going to look down between frames here. And what do we got? All right. All right. Well, I got something to show you guys here in a sec. All righty. That is a beautiful frame of honey. Look at that. The problem, however, is you see how it's kind of built out on the sides? Well, it is impacting the ability for the bees to make comb elsewhere. Sorry, I got to make sure I put this back right. I'll try to grab this camera here and see if you guys I can show you guys what I'm seeing here. All right. So yeah, this is an interesting thing. So when bees, they have this thing called bee space, and you can see how it's overextended the wax right here, and they've put honey in it. They're not going to fill out this other frame next to it because it now does a kind of a wave form here. And so just to kind of give you guys a little, let you kind of see down in there a little bit more. So that's a little bit of a challenge, is that they're not going to build up this frame entirely. However, so those frames pretty much these two frames have to pretty much go together the entire time now, unless I want to pull out a frame and scrape it all into one level. So, however, on the other side of this frame, this is the other half of that frame that we were looking at. They've also built that up, which means they're really not going to build up this frame too much. You can see them kind of doing some work, but they're going to follow the similar pattern there. So at some point, I'm going to have to pull that frame out and probably trim it down so that the bees will continue working. But yeah, that's where we're with that. So yeah, this frame right here, they've got a little worked up, and they've already put some honey on it. But you know, that being said, I'd like them to keep building more wax. So that is going to be a challenge, is if these frames don't give enough bee space, you know, that I think it's 1/4 to 3/8 inch, somewhere in there, then if they don't have that space, they'll either have to make more room, like cut down some of the wax in the path, or they just won't ever build there. So I might have to force them to do that. All right, but we've seen pretty much all we need to see in this hive. I'm gonna just slide these back together here real quick. Yeah, so they're looking really good here. I'm just debating, I'm gonna go ahead and put a honey super on, just because they're already building up this top stuff. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna put a queen excluder on this one. We had some pretty good luck with putting this one down here between the brood chambers. I don't really want to do that right now. I would still like them to build up this box, but I just want to give them a little extra space if I can. Sorry, I got a spoke right here. There we go. All right. Yeah, so we'll just tighten up these frames, and we'll go ahead and put a honey super on.